Time for us to once again take flight in the Pillar of Autumn.
Welcome to Reviews on the Run. Today on Reviews on the Run, we team up with Master Chief as we celebrate the release of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. So put on your armor, hop into a Warthog, and take the fight to the Covenant. Today we are going to celebrate one of the forefathers of console-based first-person shooter gaming. We, of course, are talking about Halo all episode long because we're looking at the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition.
It's hard to believe that Halo has been around for a full decade,
I know.
But it has. Now let's not go all the way back to the beginning. Let's look at Halo 2. Here's Ben and Jose.
I'm going way back on you, Ben. I'm going way back to a time, the original Xbox. Xbox Live, it hit. People were excited to play online games, and if you were playing online games, you were playing Halo 2.
5 minutes remaining.
You had to. This was the game that really kicked off online shooting on the Xbox.
Yeah.
2004. Man, I loved that game. I was so excited that we got a chance to reboot it.
I played this game with everybody back in the greedy offices. Hours. We spent hours playing this game every night online and getting to play with your friends and having that experience.
Well, the original Halo wasn't online. You had to play it
Yeah.
split screen or system linked. And that was what was so cool about Halo 2 is it had this huge online world. I mean, you could
Huge.
actually play all kinds of different online matches with all kinds of people. You can't do it anymore.
Can't do it anymore. That's
No.
the sad thing
That
about
is a bummer.
rebooting this game.
They actually took the servers offline a couple years ago, I think.
I think it was like just a year ago.
Just
maybe.
a year ago?
When you're trying to play a game as nostalgic as Halo 2 and you can't even play it online anymore, really hurts playing Halo 2, you know?
Yeah, with no multiplayer, no online multiplayer, you and I had to go back into the campaign.
That's all there was to do. Get your single player experience on.
Could we possibly make any more noise? I guess so.
I mean, this is what the game was about, right? It was about these awesome big moments, and it was also about being able to play as both the Covenant Arbiter and
Which
as
a lot of
Master
people
Chief.
didn't like.
I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a great way to actually expand this game and let you see how the aliens were dealing with things. Because the first game was you were just playing as humans. In Halo 2, they introduced dual wielding, and I know a lot of people were sort of mixed on that.
Dual SMGs.
I love the dual wielding, and I like going back to it because, you know, it wasn't something that they had in later games.
Yeah.
So you really only have it in Halo 2, and I like it in Halo 2. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think it still has really great dialogue. I think it's still, actually, the characters look pretty good when they're mouthing and, like, saying some of their own words.
Definitely. I was going to say the lip syncing is a lot better than in other Halo games.
Oh, yeah, they
It's
improved the
like,
lip syncing tremendously. You don't get this thing. You actually get... You get
There seems to be a problem on Halo Auto.
It's your call, Sarge.
We're going in. Get tactical, Marines!
Yeah, I remember being very disappointed in the end of this game, especially after sitting there, you know, putting in the man hours to get through it and figure out what's going to happen to Master Chief, and then it's just over all of a sudden.
I was still, for this time, I played it through, and this time I was at the end. I knew it was coming. I knew there was going to be a cliffhanger. I was aware of it.
You were
I
just
had already
hoping it was gonna
experienced
be
it
a
once.
few levels.
I thought I would like it more, and then this time I was like, God, it still made me mad. It still pissed me off.
So, you know, if Halo 2 had the multiplayer aspect still in it, I would definitely have given it a higher score. If they would have switched the ending somehow, maybe some DLC would have been a little bit higher. But
That would have been awesome.
I'm still going to give Halo 2 an 8 out of 10.
I agree with you. This is still a fun game. 8 out of 10. Just wish it had some multiplayer.
It's got a whole lot of this, though.
You're screwing it up. You're screwing it up. I had the drums.
It's Halo confession time, and my confession is, Victor Lucas, I don't like to use the Covenant weapons unless
of
I
them?
absolutely have to.
Okay, what about the Needler?
I don't like that.
That's a good one.
Nope.
We'll be right back.
I won't use it.
Still to come on Reviews on the Run, reach for the beginning, jump around with Master Chief, combat evolves yet again, and become an orbital drop shock trooper. But coming up next, finish the fight. So let's talk about Halo 3 ODST from Bungie.
Or as I call it, Halo Audits.
Orbital Drop Shock Troopers.
All right,
Say
orbital
that fast.
drop shock troopers.
What they've done this time is you're not playing Master Chief, everybody knows that. You're playing a bunch of different characters. I thought they stepped it up a little bit with the storytelling in this game as opposed to previous Halo games. This, it's kind of about these guys,
Yeah.
you know? They basically get dropped into the middle of a firefight in New Mombasa. It all leads up to the events of Halo 3, but they get separated along the way and they got to find each other and you know, basically solve the mystery of why they all got separated.
It's a little bit like the, I'm going to go a little highbrow here, the Kurosawa film film Rashomon.
Okay.
Where you see, a similar event from different perspectives.
I thought that was really cool.
Really cool. I'm not the biggest Halo fan. I like the first Halo. I didn't like the second one. I didn't like the third one that much. I know you were a big fan of the third one.
I love them all, but the third one really escalated for me.
No, but the thing is, it's like they continue to make less and less sense. And I felt like, even all the Marines that you would fight alongside, they had, it became this cliched thing where somebody like David Cross would be one of the Marines' voices, and they would always be saying, silly things. But I like the fact that there's some real emotional gravity here.
Yes.
I really believe that the Marines are real people for the first time, and I feel like this is what Halo needed. We don't need another blank.
Yeah,
you see their faces, and it's a very human story.
Well, you see their faces, and actually Nathan Fillion's face is Buck. So if you like the guy, you've seen him in Dr. Horrible, you've seen him in Firefly or the movie Serenity. He's in a show called Castle right now. So you actually have this connection to the actor and the connection to the character. It does make it a lot more human, And they don't seem quite as one-man army, super powerful as
Absolutely
Master
not.
Chief either.
You're going to feel vulnerable in this game early and often.
Yeah.
The thing that made me really like this game is the fact that I felt something. Even in the early level when you're hunting around this city that's been devastated, I felt a little scared, like I was creeped out.
I like this game a lot, but it doesn't stack up for me next to Halo 3. Halo 3 was the pinnacle.
I much prefer this to Halo 3. I wanted to hate this game, and I really liked it. I really did. I really thought this is just terrific stuff.
What are you going to give Halo 3 ODST?
Give it 9 out of 10.
9 from me as well.
Okay, sweet.
One of the things I enjoyed most about ODST, Nathan Fillion's all over that damn
You
game.
can put Nathan Fillion in anything.
He should be in every game.
Or you can put him in a poodle skirt.
No.
And I would
I'm
still
talking
like
about video
him.
games. Let's get back to video game reviews. Here's a look back at Halo 3.
It's all Halo all the time today, and we're going back a few years to look at the gaming event of 2007. That was the release of Halo 3, the first Halo to appear on the Xbox 360, and the game that picked up after Halo 2's universally reviled ending. I mean, this was a real jump forward for the franchise, not just in terms of the gameplay and the storytelling, but visually. We were seeing Halo, the Halo universe, on the 360 for the first time. Do you remember being blown away?
I did, actually, absolutely, because I was very disappointed by Halo 2, and it was one of those, I thought I was going to be done with this series.
Wow, that bad, eh?
Yeah. The best thing about Halo 3 is they decided to focus on Master Chief.
Yeah.
It was his story, his send-off, and back to this franchise's roots.
I mean, the Halo games for me have always been about the big battles. I mean, you're moving through environments and you're getting those set piece moments where they've laid out this little arena basically for you, and everything's very meticulously done. Everything's very well placed. Bungie does such a great job of setting up these scenes and saying, all right, here's your guns, here's your vehicles, here's your environment, go.
This right here is why I signed up.
I just think Bungie did a great job after Halo 2 being a little and pulling the focus away from Master Chief. They were back on top of their game, back with the huge battles, back with Master Chief, back with the multiplayer component that just blew everything on the console out of the water at the time. And it was a rock-solid game.
Yeah, I still do love single-player campaigns. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
But getting online with this game, it was just such a rock-solid experience.
And I'm not a huge online first-person shooter guy. I really pick and choose my games. Halo 3, the Halo series, have been one of my games because the pace is a little bit slower. It's not that Call of Duty kind of super slick, frantic shooting. It's something a little slower, a little more deliberate, and just so many toys to play with.
All that stuff is great. I still go back to Master Chief. I mean, I still find it amazing how they've made this such an iconic character. And we never see his face. I mean, it's kind of amazing. And the thing that I remember is that end, which, left the door open for more.
Yes.
But it was a fitting sort of final send-off for this warrior who had obviously been through so much and so many fights, and we along with him.
Now, of course, we know now that's not the end of the story.
What?
Halo 4, starring Master Chief, coming soon to a console near you.
Didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, I can't imagine why they would revisit this franchise. It's already sold tens of millions of copies. I know, but I mean, it was a fitting end of the time. What we thought might be the end of the Halo trilogy and the end of Master Chief's story, and. I mean, Bungie did a really great job. I love Master Chief. He's the dude, and anytime he is the focus of the story, I'm happy.
Cocky bastard just loves to run his mouth.
Does he usually mention me?
What do you think about Master Chief's supposed final hurrah?
8.5 out of 10.
That bit holds up. It's an 8.5.
It's Halo Pop Quiz time. Victor Lucas, for some reason that makes you laugh.
Well, it's Halo Game
It's
Show
the way
Day.
I talk.
Yeah, Pop
Well,
Quiz.
listen, I know you own a lot of video game
I do,
soundtracks.
yes.
You own the Red Dead soundtrack. Do you own the Halo soundtrack?
I do. I own the ODST soundtrack and the Halo 3 soundtrack.
When do you play the main theme?
All the time. And I have the Halo theme, obviously, on the Video Games Live soundtrack. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Still to come on Reviews on the Run, jump to Halo and celebrate an anniversary. But coming up next, discover the beginning. Hey, we're on the playground map for Halo Reach.
Oh, this is my new favorite map.
It's
this
an
is
awesome
a
map.
multiplayer map. Vic actually shot a couple of brutes over there.
Yeah, I took them out right on that hill there.
Yeah,
It's
and then
very realistic,
I
this
found
map.
a camper.
Yeah. Hey, we're talking about Halo Reach, obviously.
This is the way they want Halo to be remembered.
When I played this game, it felt like I had my glasses on playing the original Halo. It looked like a shinier, happier, more smoke and mist coming off of the water version of the first Halo.
Well, you can't argue with that.
Ways.
It certainly is beautiful. This is the first true next-gen Halo. ODST really didn't count. It used the older, outdated gameplay
That looked
engine.
incredibly outdated. Now, and I still think that Halo Reach looks outdated as compared to the best
Call
of the
Duty,
best. Yeah, I think...
What Infinity Ward gets from their games,
Yes.
you're not getting that kind of fidelity here.
You know, it's weird because the game has expansive environments that you have to do a lot of,
Huge
looking around.
battlefields, yeah. The game is fantastic. The multiplayer is absolutely amazing. The single player is amazing. It's an amazing package.
Yes,
and I
it
think
is.
that's the way we need to look at this one.
You get the Forge, you get the theater, so you can go in and build
You get the
levels.
playground map.
You get the playground map, which is right here. No, you get the ability to go in and cut your own videos and share them with people. The multiplayer matchmaking stuff is amazing. The firefight mode is incredible. Lots of cool maps. I do feel though that Halo has kind of
Jumped the shark.
No, it's kind of
The shark has been
evolved
jumped.
into mostly a multiplayer experience. Doesn't feel as satisfying as the single player campaign did in the first Halo.
That was the only Halo that I played multiple times to completion on various difficulty levels. I
Yeah.
loved the first Halo.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that sense of mystery, that sense of science fiction and narrative drive is not there. And I also felt like a lot of the levels were designed with the old Doom,
Yeah.
find the key, press this button, now move on to the next area, press this button,
Yeah.
and it just becomes like this is Halo Reach. This is
you know
this
what?
is-
It
this is
doesn't-
the fifth Halo.
It fits right alongside all of the other Halo games. I don't think it revolutionized, but it's a nice evolution. It's definitely a next-gen presentation. I don't think it's state-of-the-art, though. I think there are better-looking games. I think there are games that have more depth to them. The one major new component, apart from cool weapons like the new grenade launcher,
What else is new?
you hold the button down and then it explodes,
I love that.
and the plasma rifle thing. But the one major new addition is the space combat, and that really made me feel like I was in Star Wars Battlefront. There's a lot of value here.
But that said, if you've played all the Halos and you're a Halo nut, you might be feeling a little like, I think we both are.
You've done this before.
You know all the words to this song. I'm just a little Haloed out.
I think you're right. I think this is, we're trotting over familiar territory, but I feel like you still have to get this game.
Rock solid 8 out of 10.
I'm kind of hovering between an 8.5 and a 9. I'm going to lean towards the
Do
9
it.
because of the value.
Welcome back to the Reviews on the Run studio portion of the program.
We should call it the bridge on today's show.
Why?
Because there's always bridges in Halo.
I get it. You mean
Yeah.
where you have to go to the bridge
Yeah.
and meet up with Captain Keyes
Yes.
and memories. Well, listen, let's see if we can create some iPad and iPhone memories. Here's Sean and Marissa.
We're talking Halo all day long here, so the episode is pretty epic, except for what we're going to talk about. So we just want you to keep in mind everything awesome that you've just seen. And Halo Jump Pro is what we're talking about.
This is a jumping platform style game that we've seen on the iOS before. This is not a licensed product by Microsoft. There's no way it can be. Music in this game is not even there. There's no sound in this game whatsoever. So as you see your Spartan jumping on platform to platform, there's no boing sound effect, no whoosh sound effect, nothing, like nothing. Our Spartan that we see in this game, he's just cut out from a picture of, I guess someone saw a picture of a Spartan in some Halo literature somewhere online. They cut him out. He has no animation to him. He's facing one way with his gun, the one way the whole time,
like that.
but then sometimes he just flips over. He'll flip, like there's no frames of animation between this flip.
I thought when I started playing this game that it was free. because there's no way in hell anybody would pay for this game. And then I go to the App Store and find out it's 99 cents? Are you kidding me? People are paying for this game. Don't pay for this game.
In this game, there's no enemies, so you're just a Spartan who is jumping to these platforms.
That don't move. The platforms don't even move.
Yeah, there's no moving platforms. There's no breakaway platforms. There are no power-ups. You do get items that'll give you higher scores, but that's about it. This is probably the worst thing I've ever played. This is the worst. I've played a lot of really bad games. Halo Jump Pro, this is a piece of crap.
It is a piece of crap.
If Arkham City can be scored outside the 0 to 10 scale, then I think Halo Jump Pro can be as well. This one's getting a -10 out of 10.
Oh my God, I'm giving it a 0.
It's Halo trivia time again. Victor Lucas, quick question for you. Have you ever written any love letters to Cortana?
No, and I think that should have been in your True Confessions segment there, right? Coming soon to Reviews on the Run, discover the legend of the Skyward Sword. Lace up the boots for WWE 12. Shift into gear with the Run. And tomorrow on the show, Rayman heads back to the basics. But coming up next, Halo Evolves.
It's time for Victor Lucas and I to celebrate yet another anniversary in the video game business. Clink, clink. That's right. It's Halo anniversary. This is Combat Evolved.
Yes.
10 years later, what we get is the original single-player campaign with a new, beautiful skin. Victor Lucas, what'd you think of this?
It was very fun and slick to kind of go back in and have everything up-resed. It does feel dated. I mean, especially with all of these modern shooters, and we're in the season of shooters, and much like GoldenEye felt a little old, and that was only a year old.
It's a strange time of year to release this, I think. It's a strange choice.
It's 10 years, I think, to the month, or very close to that. It was a fall release, and I think that's what they're trying to do, is recapture the glory years.
And you know, without Halo, we have to give it its mad props, because there would probably be no Xbox. This was really the title to get. This is what put the Xbox on the map.
We're entering the ring's atmosphere in 5.
Sure you wouldn't rather take a seat?
We'll be fine. And what's great about this game, and which I really applaud, is that you can press the select button at any time and you can bounce back to the old graphics.
I love that. I didn't even know you could do that in the game, and I was fooling around with the buttons, and all of a sudden I was back in 2001.
Yeah.
At first it does look kind of lame when compared to Modern Warfare 3 or Battlefield 3. Sure. And then you bounce back to what it looked like originally. Like, man, these guys really put some sweat and elbow grease into this, and really gave some textures to the update.
Well, you know what? I still have to applaud Bungie on the original design, because they didn't have as much horsepower to work with, and it still looks really great. The emptiness and the moodiness sort of adds to the, I think, overall enjoyment of the story and the experience of playing Halo, but it does feel incredibly, you know, sort of...
underpopulated.
Underpopulated, and there's long stretches of areas where you're just driving through, and there's also a lot of replication in some of the level design
the level design is actually very circuitous, and there are, you know, right off the bat...
It's a ring, though.
Even though I know this, it is a ring. That's an excellent point. But I don't feel like it's intentional. I mean, I feel like something is inherently flawed in the level design of this game.
Well, I think so much of what Bungie was trying to do originally was just show the vastness of the Halo world for you to kind of travel through, because that was pretty unprecedented. This was a pretty big deal, technologically speaking, back then.
I think there's some beautiful writing, beautiful poetry, beautiful science fiction here, but I can't help but remember all of the HD collections we've gotten, particularly for the PS3 over the course of the year. Why isn't Halo 2 in here as well? Why isn't this package more robust than just kind of a do-over of the original game?
You do get some extras. You get some updated maps. They're the Halo anniversary maps. So you can also download and import them into Reach, so you can have access to them anytime you want.
And what's cool about this is if you played the original Halo, it was kind of a pain in the ass to get online back
you had
then.
to tunnel back then. There was no Xbox Live on this
Or
line.
you also had to bring your Xbox over to your buddy's house and connect them over System Link, and now you don't have to do that anymore now.
And those maps were amazing, too.
They were awesome maps.
Great, very well tuned for a good multiplayer match.
And the skulls, which were pioneered in Halo 2, they're in this game as well.
You also get some motion comics if you find hidden terminals within the game, and they're kind of cool too. They tell more of the mythology of Halo. It's fun.
The history of all Forerunners was now lost to us.
They also have something called Halo Waypoint, which pushes you online to give you all kinds of updates about the Halo universe.
Which is a lot like what Call of Duty Elite is doing right now.
I don't want
that charges $60 a year.
I didn't really
Waypoint's free.
Yeah, but I didn't want that, though. I think I have enough Halo news. I don't know if I need to get it every day.
There's a rabid fan base out there. This is a title that deserves its love and deserves its fan base. And I do think that this is a treat for them, but I think that the overly indulged shooter consumer out there that has so many other choices and is playing lots of Call of Duty or Battlefield online right now, they might want to hold off even a little bit.
What's
for
so
this.
funny though is I played the original Halo so many times. I didn't play a lot of multiplayer back then at all because it was a challenge to play it.
Yeah.
But I played the original campaign so many times. I had such a strong sense of deja vu and nostalgia.
Yeah.
But also, I just got bored really quickly because I knew exactly where we're going.
Overstimulated now.
Well, we are overstimulated for sure. But I just feel like I've had this experience too many times.
Right.
I feel like if you haven't had it before, this is a great way to experience it.
Yeah, but even still, it's cool. I applaud the effort. I still think wait a little while.
It's finished.
No. I think we're just getting started.
What are you going to score it?
I'm going to give it an 8.
Gets a 7.5 from me.
Today on the show, Jose and Ben took the fight to Halo 2. The game still holds up and is a ton of fun even now, but the cliffhanger ending is still frustrating. Stephen Raju joined Master Chief for Halo 3. Such an iconic finish to such an iconic character, and Bungie did an excellent job with the mechanics and gameplay. Sean and Marissa fell to earth with Halo Jump. This is an embarrassment for the franchise. Moving on. Scott and I celebrated the anniversary with Halo Combat Evolved. This is definitely for the Halo superfan. It has a lot to offer, but if you've already played it, there's really not a giant need to go back right now. Just wait till it goes down in price a bit. Based on the score, Halo 3 is our Rogers must-buy of the day, but if you're itching for some nostalgia, you can't go wrong with Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. I'm going to use an expression that you always use. Are you haloed out now after all of this Halo love that we have just done?
I'm ready to see where the new Halo goes. I'm ready for them to go off into a new, wonderful direction, and my fingers are crossed. I want it to be awesome. I love the Master Chief. I love Cortana. Please write back to me, Cortana.
Hey, listen, if you want to get caught up on reviews, you can do that on reviewsontherun.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, Reviews on the Run, one word. Scott C. Jones, he's on Twitter.
Victor_Lucas, he's always tweeting.
And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
The flood is spreading. If we activate Halo's defenses, we can wipe them out.
And that's exactly what Halo is designed to do. Wipe the galaxy clean of all sentient life.
There's no choice. We must activate the ring.